We're feeling it. All right, we're feeling it. You're into round two. I'd be lying if I didn't say I watched these other NBA games, Ryan, and I start to believe. I know the mountain is a steep one to climb. I know Boston is all that and a bag of potato chips or clam chowder, whatever you want to say. I get it. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me from having that little ray of hope, that little bit of belief. I am entering this series one game at a time. I will be thoroughly excited for tonight. I will get my wagers in on Tipico, and I will sit on back and enjoy my basketball team in the second round of the playoffs. Everything else be damned, okay? I know you're a double-digit dog tonight. I get it. I just don't want to hear it, okay? I'm just going to be blinded, put them on, sit down, and watch a playoff game tonight and see what happens. I get you're facing Jason Tatum. I get the Celtics are on this run. I understand the mountain that is in front of the Cavs that they have to climb. It's not going to stop me from being optimistic. It's not going to stop me from just sitting down and enjoying some playoff basketball. However this series goes, however it plays out, I'm just happy that we are here. Some people, that's not enough. Some people have higher expectations, and that'll get us to our 2 for Tuesday this morning about how you are entering this series starting tonight against the Celtics. I've got the keys from ESPN to watch in this series. I personally have a little update on Jared Allen. It's not that I'm reporting this. It's just what I've heard, what we're at with Allen and his rib injury. We'll get to that. We got to talk guards. Pulling it out yesterday. That was a fun game. All right. I saw Kyle Manzardo. I knew they were going to come, Ryan. I knew the Manzardo tweets were going to come after a game. We'll talk a little guards. We'll do our recap around the NBA. We'll get to our bracket, our boost, our time hop, our grid, and the morning update. We got it all. Kicking off your Cavs game day right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you along here on a 2 for Tuesday. We're getting ready. We're gearing up for tonight. I have no time for negativity right now. I just don't. And I'm not saying, Ryan, you're not negative at all. We are feeling good. And I think for Cavs fans, this comes back to the absolute essence of our question this morning, which we do have to talk through on how we want to word this, Ryan. But where I start this series at, I completely understand where the Cavs are at. I completely understand where the Celtics are at. And listen, of course, the Celtics are a giant favorite to win this series. I'm gonna believe. Sorry. I've got optimism. And I could come up with a lot of crazy answers and a crazy thing. And okay, Donovan Mitchell, he had to put up all those points just to beat Orlando. And we put the clip out from the show yesterday about me talking about Donovan Mitchell being the number one guy on a championship team. And if that is something that you now feel that he could do after watching this series. And I think the biggest pushback that I got was, it was Orlando. I respect that. And I understand that. And to be honest, I don't know if you're beating anybody else other than Orlando in that series. I put it aside. I put it all aside. And I could try to come up with these ideas or these reasons or grasping at straws about how the Cavs could win this series. And I don't want to say it's exhausting, but I just want to sit down and watch a basketball game tonight. Whatever happens outside of that, whatever happens throughout this series, I know what the offseason is going to be. I sit down just happy that we are here. Some fans don't like that. It's the participation trophy mindset, right? Oh, you're just happy to be here. No, I'd love to win this series. I'd love nothing more. And even if I sat here and tried to come up with tangible, real ways the Cavs could do it, a lot of people out there go, you're full of crap. You're insane. You're nuts, right? They don't want to hear it. And there's this battle going on with Cavs fans and how they feel about this team. And, the thing that we've seen a lot of, right? You'd rather be right than have the Cavs win. There's so many people entrenched in this team sucks, JB sucks. I'd rather see them go down in flames so I can be right, as opposed to rooting for your basketball team to try to pick up a couple of wins. It gets to our question this morning, Ryan. 2 for Tuesday, always 2 questions, 2 answers. And you already got the wording out. Good. It's at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow. Hit the retweet there. Do you feel like the Cavs are playing with house money? How did you word it? I didn't even know how you worded it. You knew the essence of what I was going with the question, right?
I said, do you view the rest of this Cavs playoff run as quote-unquote house money?
Okay. They're perfect. Perfect. Are you at this point where the Cavs have sufficed what you asked them to do? A lot of people were asking for a first-round playoff round victory. You did that. Took 7? Okay, fine. So now, exactly. Are you house money? Is this bonus time right now? Not with Bruce Drennan. That's tomorrow night. Is this bonus time with the Cavs? Whatever happens and plays it out, you're not going to get it. Are we going to get done with the series and people are going to be overly upset with how it went? I guess there's a world that if you had games that you slipped away or you had bad turnovers again, or I get it. You got to see how these games play out. But at this point, and I really think this is a good mindset to have, just let it play out. Just let it go. Don't complain about JB. Don't worry about that. It's going to solve itself. Trust me. Don't worry about Donovan's future. Don't worry about. I'm worried about tonight. Is Darius Garland going to show up? Is Max Strus going to hit some shots? There's a nervous energy that I have, but it's still an excitement. There's still an energy that I have to watch this team play tonight. And also, where did this arrogance all of a sudden come from? Where people, to be angry, if you are, about where the Cavs are at, then you must have some level of expectations that you don't think are going to get met. And I just ask, where did that come from? Maybe it's, hey, we have Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a star player. I expect better. Me? They did what I asked them to do. They now have a really tough matchup against Boston. I'll hope that they win, sure. But where did this, again, arrogance maybe is the wrong word, but for people to get really upset, you're not Boston, right? You're not Denver. Oh, God. Talk about where Denver is at right now. You're not quite those teams yet. Can you get there? Sure, maybe, and I hope. And the Cavs did what they were supposed to do. And if they lose this series, Ryan, it's kind of what I expect them to do then too. But I'm going to focus on each game as they are for the excitement that it is and not wish away the playoffs. I feel like a lot of people are discrediting this, going, oh, it's not the Eastern Conference Finals, it's not the NBA Finals. This is still important stuff. This is still important games. And also, the games have not played yet. They've not even tipped off. And it feels like we're already in a 2-0 hole here or something like that. With Cavs tonight, I'm focused solely on that. Anything else that happens, it's gravy. Ryan, I'm very clearly voting yes. I feel like the Cavs are playing with house money the rest of the way out here.
No, I mean, I can't sit here and vote yes because
that's
while
fine.
I don't necessarily expect them to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series, you didn't go trade for Donovan Mitchell and give up your future just to win one playoff round in 2 years.
Sure. Okay.
And like you said, this isn't this isn't a black and white question. I have to see the games play out. Like if we sit here, we take the Celtics to 6 or 7 and we look like a pretty formidable team, I'm not going to be upset by the slightest. But if we go out there, we're dog walking the rest of this, we get
smoked
swept
by
in
30.
4 games,
Yeah, and
we look checked out by the
right.
time we get back to Cleveland. Yeah, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not voting house money. I get what you're saying, and a lot of Cavs' expectations is, yeah, we're probably not going to beat the Celtics. But you still have to see how it plays out and how you stand up to them, because how else are you supposed to go into it next season knowing what you need to fix? And I don't necessarily, back to your point about, we're not the Celtics. We're not the Nuggets. Why people are getting frustrated. I think it's just because we've seen what our 2 biggest offseason acquisitions in Max Strus, George Niang, look pretty bad. Niang especially. There's just been so many questions about, we don't even know what can work in terms of rotations in the lineup. So now we're sitting here, is that ever going to get fixed? Are we going to go into next year with having the same problem? And then it all does fall on JB Bickerstaff, unfortunately.
It does, and I have a little hope that they can pull something out. You're right, Strus and Niang are kind of secondary to me, and I did want to discuss about the most important players who you're watching for tonight. Strus and Niang, I mean, they're off to the side. What are you going to do? Yeah, your short guys, your bench, all that kind of stuff. I mean, for Boston, missing Porzingis is going to be big. Certainly will be. But there is some element that you're worried about how this is going to play out. Let's talk Jared Allen. So last night I was on ESPN, me and Emmett Golden. I always love doing shows with Emmett. And we talked to Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. So Chris came on with us. It's a real full circle moment. Emmett mentioned this when we had on. Emmett and I started as interns for Chris. He was a board op host at ESPN Cleveland.
How old is Chris?
He's not that much older than me.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's not, because he was also a BW alum. So, I always appreciated Chris because he kind of took me under his wing and helped me out with BW connections. And now Chris, I mean, listen, I think we have some great Cavs reporting in this town. Chris is just so good. He is so, deservingly so, respected across NBA circles for his coverage for the Cavs. So it was like a full circle moment, really, for Emmett and I to be able to have Chris on and talk to him last night. And, of course, we asked him straight up, where do you think Jared Allen is at? Chris said, Allen can't even lift his arm above his head. That's how bad this rib injury is for Jared Allen. And I think, number one, it is telling that Allen didn't even try to go out to do pregame the last couple of games. Remember when JB was like, well, we'll see, or he'll try to give it a go. He didn't even go out for pregame. That tells you I'm not even remotely close to that. So if you're not even remotely close to doing pregame practice, there's no way he's playing tonight. I'll say, I'm not reporting this because obviously I have no idea, but the picture that Chris painted to us last night on ESPN is that Jared is dealing with an immense amount of pain. And if you can't lift your arm over your head, how are you going to play basketball? Let alone the physicality in the post, what you need Jared Allen to do to Ryan, do you think you need to lift your arm over your head to rebound a basketball? I think that's probably a big help a little bit. It ain't happening. Not tonight. And we asked about the rest of the series. And again, Chris, he has great reporting, but who knows, right? Jared could feel better tomorrow. I am operating that you will not have Jared Allen for at least the 2 games in Boston. I'd hope to be wrong on that. And then that comes back to, that could have been a big swing for the Cavs. They're missing Porzingis. You could have your 2 big guys. We talk about the game that Evan Mobley's going to have tonight. But really, I look at it, Ryan, and I say, there's no way for Jared Allen tonight. And I'm concerned that we see him at all there in Boston, let alone if we see him in this series, dude.
Well, it seems like it's more at this point than a bruised rib.
It could be cartilage fracture. I don't know. The rib is the finicky thing.
And I mean, if you missed game 7 with your season on the line, I doubt you're suiting up for game 1 here.
Sure. You're going to have to deal with Horford, who just always seems to stick to the Cavs one way or another.
He shoots threes. Yeah,
I'm looking at the bigs. They got Luke Kornet as a backup. He's going to have to play more, obviously, without Porzingis, and you're going to have to deal with Al Horford. The thing about the matchup, though, and I do want to get this morning, Tim Bontemps, ESPN, ran through the 3 things that he is watching for this series, and I have tears, not like crying tears, like playoff tears from ESPN of the 8 remaining teams. Where do the Cavs stack up? We'll get to that. But when I talk about the matchup with the Celtics, I think Orlando, for the problems that they presented with their height, they were never really able to take advantage of it. I think it comes back to just how bad the Magic offense was. you actually have a more, I don't want to say true matchup, but Boston is built more like a regular NBA team. You've got wing guys, you've got guard play, and you got one center. Again, Porzingis out. You put Al Horford in there. It's kind of more of a traditional matchup. The issue is they are much more talented than Orlando is, and they are more talented than the Cavs. I could sit here and try to go player for player, right? Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. Okay, I got to lean Jason Tatum. Even, it'd be different, I think, if Donovan was healthy. I think if that knee wasn't bothering him, we could have a conversation there. But okay, there's a wash. Then you talk about the next best player. Jaylen Brown is much better than Mobley or Garland or anybody else. So then you talk about a gap there, right? So then you get down to Derek White, who's career year. You would like to think you're taking Darius Garland over him, but you can't right now without Garland is playing. Then you kind of mix in Mobley. Then I'll get you Horford a little bit. Then I'll get you Drew Holiday. Then Max Strus comes in. All that, as it lays out, is very clearly that it is weighed towards the Celtics. And especially when I just talk about the gap of Brown, Tatum, then Donovan Mitchell, and then I think a gap. And then you're down into some other players. They got two of the three best players in this series. And there's a world, unfortunately, you would say Boston maybe has the two best players right now. And that just is because Donovan's knee is bugging him. That's something I'm going to watch a lot tonight to see how he feels. He gave everything he had over the last couple of games. That knee's not getting any better. I know a day off, and I'm sure he was doing all the stuff with the trainers and whatever he can do. They are right. They had 24 hours off. It was an afternoon game on Sunday. Great. A little extra time. Boston's been sitting around. Boston been ready to go. So that's 11.5. That's what it is on Tipico. I think that's pretty fair. So when I talked about comparing the rosters, yeah, sky is blue. It is Boston, I think, by a wide margin right now with how they play. Flipping it back to the Cavs. Who's it on tonight? Who is this game tonight going to be on? And I'm going to take Donovan out of that question. You almost know what you're going to get. Part of our boost, which we'll get up later, 25 points from Mitchell is kind of what you expect. Okay, fine. Who else is it going to be? Who else are you feeling has got to be the one to step up? I can listen to Garland. You can listen to Mobley. Where's the 20-point Max Strus game? Where's our Karis LeVert 20-point game? We've been waiting on these. Goes back to what you mentioned earlier, right? JB, a little deficient on some of these places. Who's going to step up for you tonight? Who's the one person you're looking at outside of Donovan that says it's got to be? Is it Darius?
No, you pretty much.
Is it just a lost cause with Darius at this point?
No, it's not,
Okay.
because you can shoot any given night. That's like different. It's on Darius to figure that out himself. But for me tonight, especially, I think a game-setting tone for Evan Mobley is what I need.
Okay.
Given that
I'll listen to
Kristaps is
that.
out. I understand the offensive struggles a little bit because you had Mo Wagner, you had Paulo, you had Jonathan Isaac, you had guys that were just almost as tall as you. I get it, you're outnumbered, but like you're going into Boston without Kristaps Porzingis. I understand Jared Allen's not there, but I need to see you on the offensive side way, way more than you were against the Magic.
Yeah, I listen to that. I like Evan Mobley.
And still keep up the defense.
Sure.
too.
Even, that's the thing. You're going to have to. You don't have that offensive threat down there in the post. I thought a lot about Isaac Okoro because if he gets the start, which I think he will, you're going to glue him to Jason Tatum. And that's a tough ask. But that's another reason why I'm such an Isaac Okoro fan. That is the draw that he gets. He knows that. For the regular season and certainly now in the playoffs, when it's a guy like Tatum, it's Paolo Banchero's different, right? He's just a different animal over there. For Jason Tatum, though, here you go, man. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be tough. And even if you lock him down, who's covering Jaylen Brown? Isaac Okoro is somebody that I didn't know if I'd ever be there, but here we are. A real key to your playoff lives is going to have to be Isaac Okoro matching up against Jason Tatum. I get that's a tall task, but that is what they have put on Isaac Okoro all season, and I hope he steps up. We go over to ESPN. Tim Bontemps sat down with Tim McMahon, the Tims, on this one. And they ran through the Boston Cavs series with 3 things that they are keeping their eye on. This is specifically from Tim Bontemps. Number 1, is Jared Allen's health. He writes, the biggest thing to watch coming into this series is whether Cavs starting center will be able to play after missing the final 3 games against the Magic. Allen is a strong two-way presence in the middle for the Cavs with Evan Mobley, and they create one of the league's best defensive units. When they share the floor during the playoffs, Cavs allow just 0.78 points per direct drive. Didn't even know that was a thing. That's pretty good, though. Of course, we know Porzingis going to miss the series, or likely to miss the series with his calf strain. Cleveland's size could be a real threat in the paint, presuming at some point Allen sees the court. There have been some offensive issues with the Cavs playing 2 non-shooting bigs. But the more pressing issue for the Cavs is that if Allen isn't available, they're going to have to run Thompson or Marcus Morris at center behind Mobley. Against the offensive firepower of the Celtics, the Cavs' lack of depth inside could become a serious problem as the series progresses. Right, so that's number 1 for him was Jared Allen's health. And yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to win the series without Jared Allen not playing at some point. And then you run the fear of him getting in there, re-injuring. I mean, the other thing is, Ryan, what's his conditioning like? He's not been playing. Even if he comes back for game 2, I don't know. Like, there's just, it's a lot of stuff with Jared Allen, which I get. All right, number 2 on Tim Bontemps' 3 things for the Cavs Celtics series. Which backcourt will be able to control the run of play? While the focus with Boston begins with all-star scorers Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, it's actually been the backcourt of Derek White and Drew Holiday, one of the league's elite defensive duos, that'll help determine how competitive this series is. In the postseason, the Celtics have had a 96.6 defensive efficiency rating when White and Holiday are both on the court. That's also a tremendous matchup, against Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Holiday will have the strength to take on Mitchell. White will have the size and quickness to give Darius Garland some trouble. If Cavs want to win this series, they're going to need Mitchell to be at his best player, or be at his best and be the best player on the court, and Garland's going to have to be better than just 3 out of 13 shooting when he scored 12 points in Game 7. But if White and Holiday play their counterparts to a draw or even win this matchup, it could be a sweep for the Boston Celtics. Final thing. Let's start. Okay, so the guard play. Again, it's not even it's not even a Tatum Brown thing. It's you got Derek White and Drew Holiday. They're going to be up in Donovan Mitchell's grill. You saw that in Orlando when they put Suggs and Gary Harris, and they said, we're going to get into Donovan Mitchell's face, and we're going to make him work. That comes back to the knee injury. What Donovan would like to do is get an easy walk up the court, set the offense up, even if he's off ball, and kind of not have to worry about the knee. You make it really hard for him. He's going to have to cut. He's going to have to go around screens. That is all load and pressure that he's putting on that knee. I would imagine that Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics are saying, that's going to be one of our recipes for success as we try to get after this one, is pressuring Mitchell and pressuring Darius Garland. And then I thought Tim brought up a great point too. Garland, one of the issues that we've kind of noticed this season, the size, right? The deficiency in size. If he's not getting those open looks and they're not created for him, and you're going to have a bigger guard and Derek White on him, it's going to be tough. Final thing, Tim Bontemps, matchup between the Cavs and the Celtics. Can the Cavs keep up with Boston's three-point shooting? Now, before I read you what Tim wrote, when I say that, Ryan, can the Cavs keep up with Boston's three-point shooting? Is there not a little part of you that says, yeah, they should? Yeah, they should. Now, they didn't show it in the Orlando series. And Donovan kind of just stopped shooting threes. He was getting to the rack. He had to drive. But if I told you that this was going to come back to three-point shooting, I guess I go back to a time that is far in the past now where the Cavs were shooting threes. And they were doing it better. Comes back to your boys, right? Strus, Niang. If Okoro could hit a couple, if LeVert could get a couple, and then your two main shooters need to be Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. This, before I say anything about what Tim wrote about the three-point shooting, it's a lot of DG. That's a lot of Garland, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's why it's pretty damn hard to have confidence in this Cavs team right now because you were able to beat the Magic because one, Donovan Mitchell went Superman, and two, anybody not named Paolo Banchero couldn't make a shot for their lives.
Sure.
So you're able to overcome that. Now you go play the Celtics. Yeah, they're leagues, and I mean leagues above the Magic in terms of their shooting efficiency. You need Max Strus to play both halves like Max Strus should. You can't have him doing this. One half looks awful. Second half finally comes alive. You can't have that. You're going to have to throw in Sam Merrill at some point. Otherwise,
I didn't think about Sam. Throw Sam in there. I didn't think about that.
Because the Celtics are just too damn good
Yep.
on the perimeter. You're going to have to play Sam Merrill because you're going to have to get a flamethrower in there, especially if Karis LeVert isn't doing it himself. And then, unfortunately, George Niang, I don't even think you play him at this point because you can't count on him to make a three. And you're going to need three-point shooters in this. And that's why exactly why you need Darius Garland to shoot the ball. And what's even more a little bit concerning is as good as Donovan Mitchell has been, it's been getting to the rack and shooting at the free throw line. He's not even been that efficient from three, which you're going to need that to flip this series because of how good the Celtics offense is.
Two things off of that. Number one, you mentioned Superman. Did you see it? Did you see it? Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I'm in on that. What is it? David Corn sweat?
Corn something.
Corn something like that?
Yeah.
I was all in. That picture looks good. That picture looks pretty good. And I follow a lot of like nerdy accounts that are trying to rip it apart. You see the green in the background. You got Green Lantern. That'll be in there. Plus, I stumbled onto the Wikipedia. They already have all the names of all the people. Like, they're already like out there. Like, yep, this is who's going to be in this movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's like Hawkgirl's going to be here. They recast Kara, like his cousin. They're all in this, man. Also, they said they're done with Wonder Woman. That sucks. They said Gal Gadot. They're done. They're not even going to do. I liked them. I don't know. We digress there on the comic book. The next thing I was going to mention about the 3-point shooting you were talking about. You got to shoot though. Here's the crux of your problem. You're not going to know what you got in Strus, Merrill. I dare say even Niang and Lover. They have to shoot. You have to shoot. Let's get to Tim's write-up talking about the 3-point shooting because he says one way an extreme underdog can make a series more competitive is to outshoot its opponent from the 3-point line. The problem taking that approach against the Celtics, Tim writes, though, is they both made and attempted more threes than any other team this season, and they finished second in the league in 3-point percentage, only a 1/10 of a point behind the Thunder. So you're going to try to take it to the Celtics in the thing that they do best. Yeah, Tim writes, last summer, Cleveland signed George Niang and Max Strus after having not enough shooting. Cleveland climbed inside of the top 10 in makes and attempts, 7 and 8 in makes and attempts from 3-point range this season. They were last and third to last year. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry, wait. They were last in makes and third to last in attempts and second to last in 3-point percentage against the Magic. So they're talking about just the playoffs. So basically, of the first round, the Cavs were the worst 3-point shooting team when you combine all of that. Meanwhile, no team makes more threes per game than Boston did in the first round. So your, I would say, semi-key to success is the thing that Boston does really well.
But that's what I'm saying is if you're going to legit have a chance to beat the Celtics, you're going to have to put up, and I'm not even kidding you when I say this, you're going to have to put up 115, 120 points a game, which this season for the Cavs has been very rare. Why did the Miami Heat win one game against the Boston Celtics? Because they shot a franchise historic record amount of threes.
That's a good point. Great
and
point.
other than that, they looked like they didn't belong on the court with the Celtics.
And that's just one. That's just one game.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just one.
That's how difficult this is.
It's going to be hard. And the thing is, I'm not going to quite join you on this just bench Niang to bench him. You put him in there at some point, maybe early, and you go, you have 3 minutes here to show me that you're going to hit a shot or something.
If he flips, I mean, yeah.
And then you just go to Sam Merrill, but then you're talking about a height difference there. The other issue with Niang is, then who's he defending?
That's what I'm saying.
You're going to put him on Jaylen Brown when he's out there? Like, what are you going to do? I don't think JB got a lot of sleep the last couple of days trying to figure this out. A lot of deficiencies, a lot of things you got to get figured out. All right, before we go around the NBA, I do want to head over another article off ESPN this morning. The tiers of NBA playoff teams. So they did 5 tiers of the 8 remaining teams. And they didn't label it anything like championship or anything like that. It's literally just tier 1, tier 2, all the way through 5. So number 1, alone by themselves in tier 1 is the Boston Celtics. Celtics have proved the remainder of their 5-game blowout of the injury-hampered Heat. Any concern about Boston Game 2 was just a complacency and record shooting by Miami. The good news for Boston is that the injuries elsewhere in the East have produced favorable paths to the finals. Celtics shouldn't need Porzingis to get past the Cavs. So they're in tier 1. Would you first off agree that the Celtics should be in their own tier 1? They have a path. They're the easiest one out. Would you agree with that? Kind of knowing maybe what you know about what with Denver now.
I was going to say in terms of easiest path, 100%. But I would say I think I'd take the Timberwolves over them.
Okay. Tier 2 is the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, which, again, nobody saw that series coming the way that it has. 2-0 on the road.
Yeah,
Denver looking like crap.
You guaranteed me yesterday that the Nuggets were going to win.
My bad. I didn't think that they were just going to not show up. Like, seriously, they just did not show up on offense at all in that game. It was really hard to watch. So they're tier 2. Tier 3 is Oklahoma City Thunder. Would you put them in tier 2? Or you think they're fine in tier 3 by themselves?
I'm fine with that.
Dallas.
They're too young.
Dallas and New York in tier 4.
I like that.
Fair. And tier 5, us and the Pacers.
Makes sense.
Us and the Pacers. Cavs are the biggest underdog in round 2 after needing 7 series to beat the inexperienced Orlando Magic. Cavs did take their only home matchup against Boston back in March, coming back from a 16-point, fourth quarter deficit.
The Dean Wade game.
But has had the worst record of any team to win a playoff series. Yeah, man, where's Dean Wade? Like, it'd be another nice little key to this whole thing. But there are your tiers on out. Again, I don't have much to complain about with that. Maybe a tick up for the Knicks. Actually, you want to know what I do? I'd put the Knicks in the same tier as the Thunder. I'd bump them up to 3. Jalen Brunson is insane right now.
Yeah,
he is absolutely insane. So I'd bump them up there. I think the Nuggets, Timberwolves at 2 are fine, and the Celtics clearly up at number 1 is where they're at. Kevin Pelton did that this morning on ESPN. All right, we got to talk actually a little bit of football. We'll get into some baseball, but first, Ryan, it is time to go around the league. I always say around the league. It's the association. It's the NBA. I don't know.
The W.
Around the W, whatever you want to call it.
That's women's. NBA. That's women's.
I know. Around the NBA we go as we recap things from last night in the NBA. Right.
Alrighty. Well, you mentioned it. Jalen Brunson is on an absolute mission in this postseason.
Like, some of the ones that I watched that. It was a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
When he gets to like the paint, it looks like he's playing with the defender. I see him on up fakes, he dribbles, and he is in amongst the trees, right? And he somehow still gets shots.
Yeah, he can play above the rim.
He's so good, man. He's really good. He's really fun to watch.
Yeah, well, he drops another 40-plus point performance here as the New York Knicks beat the Pacers 121-117, although this game was...
It was close.
It was close, but there was a lot of questionable calls, and people on Twitter were not very happy.
Yeah, the NBA refereeing, it's the playoffs. I know they want to let him play, but even just some of this off, like, kick ball stuff, you know, there's a couple where they called it a kick ball. It went off his hand. Like, I don't know if I want more or less replays in the playoffs, because here's the issue. And the other one was, gosh, was it Miles Turner? I think it was, because he had the offensive foul late in the game that really kind of flipped it, and they still went to a replay. Here's the thing. They're still going to replays, and you don't know what they're going to do. You know, I was watching it. I was talking with Emmett, and I go, I don't think that was an offensive foul. Like, that looked like a good screen to me. They review it, and they still come back. Now, offensive foul. We move forward. And it comes back to you got to respect the call on the field, right? Or the court. But I don't even think they're getting it right when they go to the replays. So that is an element of it. Sure, I got to get it. But you watch how New York, 40 bomb from Brunson. Are you going to keep getting 20 out of Dante DiVincenzo? Because if you're going to keep doing that, you might have something to talk about.
25 points, 4 for 9 from beyond the arc.
Big step up for Josh Hart. And then you still have OG Anunoby just kind of hanging out there. The issue that we discussed a lot last night was the pace. And I don't mean to. It's a bad pun. I got nothing else for you. Sorry, Ryan's very disappointed in me. Come up with another word. What's a synonym for pace?
Tempo.
Okay, fine. Thank you. The tempo that the Indiana Pacers are going to play with, I think, is going to be one of the... Okay, the Knicks are going to go too deep off the bench. That's it. The Pacers are going to run. They're going to run, and they're going to put up a lot of points on you. That's going to get your guys tired. And it's also potentially going to get them into foul trouble. And that's going to then turn it to Tom Thibodeau to go to a bench that is non-existent. They're coming 2 guys off, Mitchell Robinson and McBride. That's it. That's it. So if you got a team that wants to push it and they're going to try to get you into foul trouble, you got no bench to go to. Kind of leans Pacers, does it not? But then you understand the Pacers, who had the more diverse scoring, which I think would help you a little bit. You know, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam didn't have that great game. I look at Tyrese Halliburton.
Bro, I've been saying this for months.
I think he's overrated, bro.
I said that months ago.
I know. So I pulled this up. And here, I'm going to do it again for you right now because I want to get you the actual stats here. And I don't mean to be ripping Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's a fine player, all right? Let me get you something here, all right? I go back to the month of... I'll give you November, all right? November. Couple of games in October, throw that aside, right? November, when the Pacers were in the in-season tournament finals, that is when you thought Tyrese Halliburton's about to explode, man.
He got the all-star clout, and then he fell off.
29 points a game in the month of November for Tyrese Halliburton. Then it slips to 21 in December. Then it's 18 in January, 16 in February and March. Back up to 19 at the end of April. Bro, average 16 in the series against Milwaukee. He put up 6 last night. 6.
Darius Garland-esque.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so when I look at Indiana, it's very clearly Pascal Siakam's team. I get it. But it's... Yeah, I don't think you're going anywhere without Tyrese Halliburton. Now, you have TJ McConnell, who's all of a sudden shown up off the bench. Obi Toppin with the dunks and what he's been able to provide. But, like, could you imagine where the Pacers would be if they just got some semblance of Tyrese Halliburton from 4 months ago? If they had any semblance of that, I think we're having a different conversation. That matchup is so intriguing because you have Brunson just stratosphere. And then you come down, you start playing that matchup game, and you go, there's actually avenues for the Pacers to win this. I don't know. Like, Jalen Brunson, I mean, he might go off for 40 every game. You don't think he's going to do that. I think that series going at least 6. I think that series at minimum is going 6, just from a matchup there. But last night, you also saw a little bit of that dog mentality. Yes, it was at home. You saw the Pacers just kind of crumble there. You saw late plays, some mistakes. They were in it. It was just, again, a fun game to watch. I think it's going to be a great series. Give credit to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is a man possessed. He is so damn good. So damn good.
All right, well, the Timberwolves, they snagged 2 in a row in the Mile High City as they go up on Denver 2-0. Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards both dropped 27. Naz Reid, 14 off the bench. They limit the Nuggets to only 80 points in the whole game. Aaron Gordon to team high 20. Nikola held to 16. Jamal Murray held to 8 points on 3 for 18.
33 points in a half? Bro. Then you got Michael Malone just going berserk.
This is without Rudy Gobert, too.
You got without Gobert. Congratulations to he and his family. Welcome their child yesterday.
Would you miss an NBA playoff game for the birth of a child? Don't lie. Yeah, you would.
Probably not. I don't.
You would. That's the biggest lie.
I don't know, man, dude. You got playoff games to be had. You're only having a couple of kids. There's something special. So the thing is, because they were talking a lot, there was a hockey player that had his kid, but then played in the game. The issue was they were in Denver. I'm assuming Rudy, his girlfriend, they were back in Minnesota. So if it was a home game, maybe you're having a different conversation. I think he did the right thing. By the way, speaking of that with athletes and their kids, how has Scottie Scheffler's wife not had her kid? I think they're due this week. I think he took off this week. He's not playing at Wells Fargo. Remember the Masters? Everybody goes, you might have to pull out. That was almost a month ago.
It's a headline.
And I get it that there's a lot of, I don't want to say disparity in that. Like, my son came 2 weeks early. My daughter came a day late from their due dates. And there's medical things. Like with our son, it was a little scary. They called my wife on a Friday morning. They said, you got to go right now. There was a test result that came back, and they were like, we got to go. Now is the time. And my daughter just, a day late. So you're usually right on with that. And I got stories of friends of mine months early, premature and the late, all that. But I saw it was interesting where I was like, Scotty Scheffler, like, yeah, he's going to take off this week. His wife's probably having the kid. I'm like, wasn't she supposed to have it during the Sunday of the Masters? Like, whatever, here we are. So you did it without Gobert. You got Jamal Murray throwing heating pads. You got Michael Malone going berserk. Denver seems broken. Like, broke. Bad spot. They're not. And again, it's Michael Porter Jr. can't buy a three. Jokic doesn't even look like himself. It's not that I'm not trying at all to discredit what Minnesota has done. Denver looks like they're bored. It looks like they didn't even want to play. And especially after you got beat on game one, to come back and put forth that effort. The real question is, do you think the mentality of Anthony Edwards and all the things that he is saying has actually gotten to the Denver Nuggets? And it's like infiltrated their head. He started this series by saying that Michael Porter Jr. is the best three-point shooter in the league, giving his flowers to Jokic, talked about late game closing from Jamal Murray. The mental side of the job that Anthony Edwards is doing right now is incredible. It is awesome. The mental warfare that he is waging on the Nuggets right now. And they obviously got to win one now in Minnesota. Can they turn those tides? Is that series over, Ryan? You're down 0-2. You lost both games of those at home. Is it done for the Nuggets? Are they fried?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be hard pressed to bet on the Nuggets.
Then again, you mentioned it. Naz Reid, Mike Conley finding the fountain of youth there. They look like a team. Are we staring down the barrel of a Thunder Timberwolves Western Conference Finals?
Yeah. I mean, if I could see anybody choking, it would be Cat and Rudy Gobert. Not Anthony Edwards, but I still think it'll be Minnesota.
Dude, Cat came out of the gate and was like, I'm going to throttle you guys.
Minnesota-Boston championship is going to be good. Sorry.
Yeah. I felt like we were all on the path of Denver-Boston, now that probably is going to happen on one side.
But I think I
would probably say Minnesota.
Think the youth matches up better for Timberwolves.
Yeah, and I'm believing the Thunder in that other series, too.
Ant and Tatum will be fun to watch.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Then the other thing that came out, do you know the Timberwolves are trying to offer that first overall pick to the Warriors? And do you know the Warriors said they didn't like the mental makeup of Anthony Edwards?
Yeah.
I mean, I know people can change, and I understand that, but what a miss. Could you imagine Anthony Edwards on the Warriors? On that? And they might not have other guys there, but I'm just saying, like, whoo, what a miss that was. But that I was so in on Denver. You know I was. I guess you really need to focus on the now. Like, what is this team now? What are they showing you right now? I just never thought that Denver would lay over like they did. I mean, they rolled over and died last night. And they can try to get back up for this series coming up. You could try to say you got Jokic. And imagine that offseason. They're going to be having those discussions left and right. Is this the right team? That's the thing. They're missing the mentality thing. That's what they're missing. They are the more talented team. They're missing the mental side. They need to take a little from Anthony Edwards of what's going on there in that series. But cost me. That's all right. We're back at it tonight. We'll get you our plays, including our Cavs Celtics matchup, our boost. Not yet, right? We took a tenner here on Mobley. Bro, I think we're having a 16-rebound game tonight from Evan Mobley. I'm feeling that. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it from Mobley.
So it's actually Mitchell 26 points we need.
So over 25.
Yeah, over 25.
Over 25 is what. So yeah, we wanted the over 25 and a half. So that's where we're at. So 26 there. Rebounds from Mobley. We'll take the 11 and a half. Ryan, what do we boost it up to?
Plus 316.
I don't know why. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And a little mo for you. All right, let's go. Folks, here's how you do it. You do exactly what I'm going to do right now. You download the fantastic Typico app. Boom. All right, I'm already in. You know what? I want to show people the opening screen right there. Boom. There it is. Sorry, it needs my Face ID. Here it is. We're into Tipico. New customers. Fontana 100 is your code. When you sign up, deposit $150. I know that's a big ask. You will get two $75 protected bets to place on whatever you'd like, and then you are on your way to cashback rewards with our friends at Tipico. And in fact, Ryan, I think I'm damn close. All right, I got it right here. Right here. Boom. That's it. All right, load me up here. 10 wins me 42. Ryan, I get my cash back. Let's go. Here we go. Cash back. Boom. Cashback parlay in for me with Tipico. $5 cash back earned. One of the best things about Tipico, folks, they don't play this game. Oh, you know, you get this token and get a hat. You can get a nice mug. What do you want? What do I want? Money back in my account so I can keep betting there. That's what they do. It is no nonsense. You don't need to track it. It's right there in your account. You see as you fill the bar up. Straight bets and parlays, and you get the cash back going. Go back to March, or excuse me, April, $1 million. $1 million passed out to the people at Tip. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is March. We got to find April. We got to find out what they passed out in April. But they gave $1 million back in March out back to the fans and the people betting with us on Tipico. Get signed up with that code Fontana 150 for the new customers, and then we're giving it back to you on the current customers because of the cashback rewards, because of the boosts. It's all up there with us at Tipico. Again, code Fontana 150 when you sign up. A few other things I wanted to get into before we get to the morning update in hour 2. What did you expect from Kyle Manzardo? I got tweets, people saying, oh, you know, he looks nervous at the plate. You think? Do you think he was a little nervous at the plate? It's no big deal. By the way, still got our boost going. We're going to do this every night, right? It's going. Guards money line, Manzardo home run until he hits. Not only could then you hit that bet, which was plus 900 last night, I don't know what it is tonight, you'll then be entered for a chance to win a couple of tickets, go over to the baseball game.
I just hope he doesn't hit his first home run in a loss, you know?
Oh, yeah, that would sink it. Yeah, that would be. But Manzardo, okay, no problem, fine. Guards, though, man. Tristan McKenzie.
Yeah, sticks, man.
Dude, gave up the opener right there to Riley Green. Fine. Wow.
Little issues.
Wow.
Command.
There was that he kept nibbling.
Yeah.
I know exactly where you're going.
But the ump did have a big zone still.
Oh, he was screwing the Tigers, man.
Yeah,
there was some calls, and I was like, oh, my God. Was that CB Buckner last night?
Buy him a beer.
Bro. I'd have gotten tossed.
Yeah.
I'd have gotten tossed if I was AJ Hinch on some of those. Like that.
Pretty generous.
Is it AJ Hinch? Is he in Detroit? Who's the manager there?
No, you're right. Hinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Former Houston guy. That's right. Yeah. I couldn't remember if he's in Minnesota or Detroit. He was in Detroit. But you give McKenzie a little bit of credit for taking advantage of it. Got out of some jams thanks to it. He pitched well. You're right. He was nibbling a little bit. He was in these 2-2 counts and just a few of the frustrating ones. I think he had multiple of these. He was 0-2 to a guy, and then he gets to a full count. Yeah. He was nibbling. He just wasn't right there. Maybe the command was on. He didn't want to give in. He navigated it well. Jose Ramirez is an absolute beast. Thank God. You got to win. Now, I wanted this series, and maybe last night more than not, to show the Tigers they're not with us. They can believe all they want. You know, they were on a now 4-game losing streak. Their bats have been ice cold. So I did cash on the under last night. I grabbed it at 7.5. So as soon as Riley Green aced that home run, I was like, damn it. Yeah. Here's the stats I was looking at. Number 1, Detroit is bottom 3rd in baseball in runs scored anyway. They're only scoring 3.5. Ryan, in their last 5 games, they're only averaging 2. Then for the Guardians, they're actually a half run lower at home than they are on the road. So we'll get into some matchups. I probably should do that more about some trends and some things that I'm looking at for the baseball, but kind of like the under again tonight. I just want us to show the Tigers they're not in our class. Now, a 2-1 win in kind of a defensive pitching type matchup. Flaherty had it yesterday, man.
Yeah, he looked good.
He was looking good.
He's 0-2.
I know. The pitching, though, for Detroit is really been their resurgence. Like, yeah, they drafted Spencer Torkelson, who, by the way,
butt cheeks.
He can't do anything right now.
Dude, he should have had that double from Florial.
I know.
In the beginning of the game that they said it was a double, thankfully. I thought he should have had that.
Yeah, and then he got that little topper that Jose kind of threw away. Like, he's all out of sorts.
He can't hit.
Riley, that's what I'm saying. He's all out of sorts. Like, Riley Green is good. That lineup is not it, but they're a little like the Guard. Well, I don't say a little like the Guardians. Our lineup is a
How
little bit better.
washed is Javi Baez?
The money that they gave him, and I know they regretted it last year. What's he batting?
Like a $150?
Yes, $150, $170. What happened to Javi Baez, man?
I don't care. I'm all for it.
Trust me, they're a little Cubs hangover from that. That's all good. But their bullpen is electric. So that's why you got it. The fact that Jose was able to do what he did, get to that win. I will say this every single game that I watch.
I know what you're going to say. Clase is disgusting.
Clase is filth, bro. He is so good. How does anybody get him? He is electric. He is so good. Hunter Gaddis got a little dicey.
Yeah,
I'm a defender, but got out of it. All right. Dude, Emmanuel Clase is. I know he was the one behind Bieber. Oh, they could trade him away. No. It's a lock. And he'll blow a save at some point. That's the life of a reliever, but. Dude, he is very good. So that was fun. It was a fun game to watch. I'm excited for tonight. I really, frankly, love the fact that we get a little baseball and then you go right into the Cavs game, which is fun.
Yeah.
Who do we got tonight? Who do we got tonight?
Should be Bibee.
Bibee?
It should be.
No, Logan Allen. Kenta Mieda. Logan Allen, 3-2, 5-11.
How is it Allen again? Allen just pitched against the Astros.
Yeah, but so did Bibee. Logan was the day before Bibee. I think Bibee goes tomorrow.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Over on.
I guess we did play a whole Angels series.
Over under 8.5.
Take the under.
I take the under. I like that a lot. My 8 is 1-1, 5 ERA. 22 strikeouts, just 7 walks, though. He's given up 8 home runs, though. All right. Quan official now a month.
That
okay.
blows.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want this to be a recurring thing. He's had hamstring problems in the past. The now on Steven vote, listen, Manzardo's going to be in the lineup. Whether he DHs, they've said he might actually get some outfield time. Like, of course.
That's what I said. I was like, just throw him in right
I
field,
get it, but like, I'd almost rather have David Fry out there, and then you kind of platoon Naylor at first with Manzardo. The thing about Josh Naylor wants to play first, though. He wants to be out there. There are some guys, a lot like Jose Ramirez, they get out of their flow when they're not on defense, right? They want to be out there. They feel like they're an everyday player. They want to be out there. Okay, fine, I'll listen to it. But now this rotation where, again, Brennan, Freeman, Florial, I continue to say, man, he shows me a little bit here and there. Ramon Laureano's lost. He is just completely lost right now. And I hate to say that because I'm sure he feels that pressure too. He's going to be off the bench, and then eventually when Quan comes back. But again, now that you're going to be a month, you got some time to experiment. The other guy to watch your eye on, Rodriguez. So there's another guy right behind Manzardo down there at AAA, Jonathan Rodriguez. He is an outfielder. Do you make that move? At this point, I think one is enough about here's our young prospect to try out. And again, I think Manzardo is going to be in the lineup for a while. You didn't bring him up here just to sit around. You get him in there, get some experience. I am reading jack squat nothing into one game and his first at-bats in the major leagues. So you have him up here. That's great. Maybe somebody else. We'll see how that plays out. Final thing with the Browns. Apparently, they're trying to enact this Art Modell law. So this came up a long time ago. I would say a long time, about a month ago. That there was a law put in place in 1996 when the Browns left that basically requires if anybody wants to move a team out of Cleveland, they have to give advance notice and then they are required to allow the team to be purchased by somebody in town to keep them in town. That's the Art Modell law. And apparently the city ordinance or the city council approved the ordinance directing the city to enforce the Art Modell law when it comes to these negotiations with the Browns. Do you want to know what that means? Nothing. Because if they're going to leave when the lease is up in 2029. And at that point, do you think this law is actually going to stop them? No. I didn't like it because it's like, I don't want to say it's a threat because I think it's an empty threat. There's actually nothing behind it. And I would assume the Haslams would not go down this path unless they got some sort of legal counsel to say, yeah, that's a bunch of bull crap. We're all going to be on pins and needles about this. I actually don't think this is going to be very fun. As we sit here, you want updates, I want updates, what's going on? And Ryan, I don't think we're going to get much. Here's a little step towards the posturing from the city of Cleveland. Hey, don't forget about this law that was passed 2 decades ago. Okay, almost 3 now. Almost 30 years ago, this law was passed. What does that hold? I don't know. I just thought it was weird that was like a story that came out that they're going to try to uphold this Art Modell law. What are they going to do? They're going to force him to do that? And then I saw you Google. Who's going to buy him?
Yeah.
We're going to pool our money here? Hey, Ken just won Seize the Gray this past weekend. Let's rally. No.
I wonder, yeah. So he's one owner, though, right? Aren't there multiple owners?
Yeah. Shout out to Ken Miles here at Big Play. We told you about Seize the Gray's horse. They entered the Pat Dame out. They won. I think Ken is like a part owner of that. Because I saw the owner, it was like Race House or Racetrack or something like that.
Yeah.
Track House. Well, Track House is a NASCAR team. But yeah, I think there's a lot. You can buy a horse. I think you and I actually could go, if we really wanted to go buy. It's like the soccer teams. The big things now is you swell up. People are just buying pieces of a soccer team, overseas and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll rally some support. We'll just go buy the team. That's fine. We'll keep them around.
Yeah.
Keep them around. I just think it's a step towards they're approving this ordinance. They're trying to posture up. It's a bunch of stuff. I think it's a bunch of malarkey, but I could be wrong. All right, when we come back, we'll get to the morning update. We'll get to the grid. We'll get back into the Cavs, man. Starting to feel. All right, here we go. I need the positivity. I need the positivity for the Cavs. Ryan's not having it. I get it. I understand. It's a tall task.
It's tough because you need a full 180 shooting performance from what we've seen for the last month out of the Cavs.
But it's like
I really don't think there's any other way to beat the Celtics team.
But like, here's my crazy.
You're not dragging them down to your level on defense.
You can't do that. But it's like, just shoot then. What if we just get that hot shooting? Then you fall into Miami.
You need that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have. You're gonna have to shoot your ass off.
That's just asking a lot.
And the thing is, though, like,
hey, I've seen weirder.
You got guys, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not out of the realm that Max Strus splashes 5 threes tonight.
Go through George Niang out there for 5 minutes.
He got 3 minutes. He's got 3 minutes.
If Niang somehow starts clipping this series, I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. More fallout from the roast of Brady, by the way, that we'll get to.
Don't care.
Giselle is deeply disappointed.
Yeah, no shit.
What did you think was going to happen? Aaron Hernandez's ex-fiance, upset.
No shit.
What did you think they were going to make fun of him for? What did you think? Maybe they shouldn't have watched. I don't know. So we'll get to that. We got a lot more coming up with the morning update as well. Monday, what a day to recap here on Big Play. Last night, loaded show on the Big Play Cleveland show. Sam Amico talking hoops and Jensen Lewis talking some guards. You had Blake and Greg Williams come get some. Hanford Dixon. You had it all yesterday. What do we got tonight? Josh and Maria Cribbs with the return.
Yes.
How's the dating game going? Are they still in on that?
I am not. I don't think I'm allowed to know anything.
They haven't done, like, they haven't even gotten the
I think they're still in the process of it.
Okay.
I've got to be, like, kind of ignorant to it.
That's fine. You don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
You got to go in biased in. Summer's opening up, though, man. You'll be fine. Summer's the time.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be out and about. We'll get it done. And then also tonight, Enter the Jungle. James Rapine, Andrew Fox Millers. They'll recap a lot what's going on with the Bengals. Have you seen this drama with Bengalorian and Garrison and this reporter with Joe Burrow's wrist?
Yeah, isn't that dude just a troll?
I guess there's a troll account. I got no skin in the game, so I have no idea. But apparently there was like a troll account. Yeah. I don't want to say troll account because I don't know who this guy is. He fancies himself an NFL insider or whatever. That said, Joe Burrow's wrist surgery, he basically is going to have wrist issues for the rest of his life, and the bone is never going to be reset right. And then Bengalorian and Drew are like, they're full of crap. They got him out on the field out there. He looks great. I wanted to tweet at them so bad. How's Burrow's zip looking? Has he got the zip out there? We're on zip alert down there in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. But they'll have all that tonight with James Rapine and crew with Enter the Jungle.
I guess he blocked.
He did block Drew. I know he blocked Drew. I saw that. The drama. Of course, I'm taking their side in this. Our family here at Big Play. Don't be taking shots at Drew and Bengalorian. We'll come after your ass, too.
Are we going to play them in Call of Duty or whatever?
Yeah, we got to get it figured out. Like, from my understanding, the next step would be understanding if Garage Beer wants to get in. And I think there's no question they will. So then it's picking when we want to do it. What shot out of a cannon for the fan, even if fans, you want to let us know if you would watch, what night do you think would be best to do that? I'm feeling a Thursday.
Yeah,
like
fine.
Friday, people are out and about, they're doing stuff. Like Thursday, 8 o'clock,
That's fine with me.
that's their show.
That's their show. But we could do it on their show.
We could.
I'm sure they'd be fine
Or
with
right
that.
after their show.
Although-
That would be kind of my pitch.
But I just realized we haven't done a 2 for Tuesday.
Oh, the second 2 for Tuesday. You know the one I pitched, but we've already discussed it after Cinco de Mayo. Do you have one that's
What if we
popping into your head?
I mean, I feel like we've done this hard for soft tacos.
And you know exactly where I stand. Hard shell tacos suck.
Yeah, I agree.
Tacos, burritos, we've done that before. We can move past the Cinco de Mayo. There's got to be something else.
I mean, should we just do what's better, Barrio Condado?
Yeah, that's blood money.
I know people
People get so pissed
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I love them both. I really do. If I had to pick.
If I had to pick, I might pick Condado.
Canado, when you hit it, like, it's the same thing. When you're not eating it, you don't really like think about it. And then when you sit down to destroy some Barrio or Canado, you're like, oh my God, this is heaven. There are times that I will eat Canado and I go, yeah. But there's something about Barrio. The legacy, I think, is what I'm getting to with Barrio, where I've had it more and there's something that just hits with it. And plus, I don't ever eat at Canado. Condado. Sorry. I always get it to go. Barrio, I have sat on the patio in Lakewood. I've sat out at Tremont. It sways me, Barrio. I think it'll just be one of those things. They can both be great. They're equal. They're amazing. I guess it's just Barrio's my OG. So I got to lean that way.
Should we? And this is also kind of blood money, but at the same time, and I know people might be biased. I'd be curious to see how people view who's the better player, Donovan Mitchell or Jason Tatum.
Go ahead. We need a second one. You're right. We're an hour into the show. We don't even have our second 2 for Tuesday. Who's a better player, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell? Because then it goes back to the conversation that they were having on Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty talking about the dog mentality. He gave it to Donovan Mitchell. He did not give it to Jason Tatum. He did not do that. We discussed that on yesterday's show. Sure, throw it up.
I want to see how the Cavs fans
get
stand
the
on
Celtics
that.
fans all pissed off. That's fine.
Yeah,
Get them out of their game a
I did
little bit.
hashtag Celtics.
That's fine. Get them out of that a little bit. Get them out of it a little bit. See how it goes. All right.
Doesn't Jason spell his name Jayson?
Yeah. Yep. J-A-Y. By the way, it's really weird, but I love that he calls his son Deuce. I don't know why. It's a cool nickname. So I'm assuming he's Jason Tatum Jr., but like Deuce. It's a cool nickname. Good for him. His son is. I love that. I'm a sucker now that I'm a dad. I love that stuff. Kyrie's son throwing him the basketball. He hits the 3. I don't know.
I didn't even know Kyrie had a kid.
I think he's got 2. I think he's got 2 now. Kyrie. Maturing up a little bit there. All right, when we come back, which is funny because kids will instantly unmature you just because you go to a level where you're just like survival, but whatever. Anyway, we got the morning update. We'll get to the grid. We got time up. We got our bracket, which is filled up for the best Cedar Point ride. We'll get to that and plenty more Cavs coming your way. First break of the morning, Steelers. Fontana Show right here in Big Play, streaming YouTube. We're up on Twitter and Twitch at Matt Fontana Show. Back right after this.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works
Oh.
now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yep.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You know, you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds.
The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds.
If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right?
Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party.
Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, Ryan's got the stories morning update. More fallout from the Brady roast, Guardians, Cavs. What else we got? I do have something for time op because somebody else just tweeted about it. It's not going to be good, but we'll get there a little bit later. Ryan, please take it away. The morning update.
All right, well, the Guardians beat the Tigers in the first game of the three-game series 2-1. Tristan McKenzie on the mound. Very good day for him, Matt. He goes 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, as we mentioned before. A little bit of trouble with the command, but no biggie. Big story, Jose Ramirez hits a solo homer, breaking Larry Doby's franchise record with his 87th career go-ahead blast that lifts the Guardians over the Tigers.
I saw that on the broadcast. Hang on.
About to sneeze?
Excuse me. Do you go shirt, hand, or arm when you sneeze?
You gotta go arm.
Arm.
Every other way is gross.
Oh, the shirt's fine.
No.
I think the shirt is actually safer. I'm not getting it all out there.
No, you're just blowing. No.
What's wrong with that?
No, you gotta condense it.
We are we fight with our. We are blessed. Like our son he's really good. He's really smart. He's great, and we work on the arm thing. The funny thing is, when I don't do it, and he yells at me, I'm like, hey, "You're right, buddy. You're right. I need to be doing it." The arm, because even when I do the shirt, he goes, "Dad, arm," and I'm like, "You're right. I'm sorry." But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to sneeze there. And then, so with that, and then the stolen base, he passed that, he's all of a sudden just climbing up these ranks. Jose, games like that, scrappy type of games. And that's where I feel like the Guardians are this type of team. They find ways to get wins. Defensively, you made some plays, and it was a busy game. What I mean by that is there was base runners. There was traffic out there. For McKenzie to navigate it, I think there is something to be said about you're still not having your starters getting late into games. And eventually that is going to tax your bullpen. You had Terry Francona, who was a master at doing that, but you still have Carl Willis, and who's really good about that. And Stephen Vogt, hopefully, is picking up a little bit on how they can manage their bullpen the best to still have them healthy. You're getting Hench's back, which is great, to bolster that a little bit out there.
Sandlin looked good.
I kind of like Nick Sandlin. I'd say the same thing about Eli Morgan, man.
It's kind of crazy he's 3-0.
That's just this inning, guys. And Sandlin with the sidearm stuff, I mean, there's a need for that. There's a need for that kind of guy. And the same thing, I defend Eli Morgan. He'll give it up from time to time. You need some of those guys. What I really like is I think you are able to establish Hunter Gaddis as your true setup guy.
Yeah.
He's throwing gas. It doesn't mean, again, it's going to be perfect, but you can just get it to Clase. The one thing, and this is, I'm going to say this now, and eventually it'll come up. What I want Stephen Vogt to truly try to avoid is getting Emmanuel Clase out there in the 8th inning. And I know you'll need him to pitch and sometimes tie games in the 9th to try to get there and stuff like that. What I need them to avoid is the temptation of the 4 or 5 out save. Just put him out there for the 9th. That's it. And Gaddis is going to give up some. He already has. But I would really like to try to establish that mentality of Hunter Gaddis being your setup guy. I like it. Scrappy, good win.
Could you imagine if we were able to, at one point, see Andrew Miller set up Clase?
Yeah. Dude, Miller was so filthy.
Oh my
he
God.
was so good.
I'd pay money to see that.
Oh, that, I mean, the peak Andrew. Now
he's my favorite guard. Honestly,
was
my favorite pitcher. Ever.
He was doing 6 and 7 out type things, and Cody Allen at the back of that too. Damn man, yeah, that was fun. But Clase is just, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do him. He's so good. He's so good.
All right, well, game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals tips off tonight, 7 p.m. Cavs at Celtics. Celtics a heavy 10.5-point favorite, Matt, but I feel like it might be a fair spread.
I think it is, and that's, you talk about the injuries facing the Cavs, mostly with Jared Allen, but also the injury factor of Donovan Mitchell. I think that spread would be 8 if Mitchell was like fully healthy. And I think Jared Allen's worth a point or two on that. You're also maybe setting yourself up to being a home dog here, too, depending how tonight goes. And then we'll get there with game 3 and game 4 and all that kind of stuff. But
100%.
I think you're probably going to be home dogs.
100%.
So fight it out. You know, the thing is, and another reason why you're double digit, are you a little worried about the Cavs' energy level? Like, what got them sunk in the first half of that Orlando series was they looked tired. They looked beat. They looked injured. And then they turned it on. The issue is you had to give max effort and lay it all out there for the second half. 2 days later, you're going into game 1 against the Celtics, who are well rested and ready to go. A lot of those factors for tonight. Our Twitter question is up about the Cavs playing with house money. Can we get an update on that, Ryan? And that's for the rest of the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty close, but 48% say yes, 51% say no.
All right. What's our other one, too? I'm going to retweet that one.
Mitchell Tatum. 39 votes, but Mitchell's up 75-25.
All right, I just retweeted that. Health-wise, 100% healthy. I don't think it's a debate. I think it's Donovan.
I do.
Is Jason Tatum elite?
Is
Jason Tatum elite?
They're different kinds of players.
They are.
Like Tatum's more of a better defender. He's more two-way.
Yeah.
Donovan's more of a score first guy, but Donovan plays defense. I'm not saying he doesn't.
Sure. Yeah. All right. I'll listen to it. We'll see how it goes. But you talk about the star players in this one. I just wish so bad, man, that Donovan was completely healthy. I think we're having a lot of different conversations if he was. He's not. Hopefully the time off helped. Keep our eye out for Jared Allen. See how it goes.
All right, well, Matt, to nobody's surprise, Victor Wembanyama was named the unanimous NBA Rookie of the Year. He got all 99 first-place votes. Wemby becomes just the 6th unanimous Rookie of the Year in the last 40 years, joining. Do you want me to spoil it?
I was going to ask you the list. I looked it up on ESPN last night. Let me see if I can remember.
Go for it.
Because LeBron was not.
Correct.
LeBron got like 68 votes or 78 votes, and Carmelo got 40 in their rookie year.
Doesn't surprise me.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Yes. He is the most recent.
Yeah. Then, like, Ralph Sampson was way back in the day. I remember that.
84.
There was one other older one, was there not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to remember all of them.
Well, so 2 you should actually be able to get because Wemby joins 2 former Spurs in it, David Robinson and
Tim Duncan. Robinson was the older one. You're right.
The other ones you're missing, 2011, Blake Griffin.
That's right.
And 2013, Dame Time.
Damn, that's right. I wanted to look up Kyrie.
Because who was his draft? I can't remember. I don't even remember.
I just want to look up the voting. One second. All right, 2011, 12 NBA awards voting. Basketball Reference, here we go. MVP that year, LeBron James, 85 votes for him, first place votes. Durant got 24. Rookie of the Year, Kyrie Irving got 117 of 120 votes. Okay? 1 vote to Iman Shumpert, 1 vote to Kawhi Leonard, 1 vote to Kenneth Faried. You remember him?
The Manimal. Wasn't that his nickname?
And then in second place, who didn't get any first place votes but got enough votes for second?
Was it Kemba?
Another former Cavalier.
A former Cavalier?
A recent former Cavalier.
Isaiah Thomas?
No, good guess, though.
Guard?
Much more recent than that. Yeah, guard.
Delhi?
Ricky Rubio.
Oh, that makes sense.
Dude, when he was coming out, Ricky Rubio was that. Kemba got 3 votes in that whole thing. Isaiah Thomas got 28. Again, no first place vote. Who the hell gave Ima and Shumpert a first place vote? That's a little crazy.
What team was he even on his rookie year?
The Knicks. He got
drafted
drafted by the Knicks first-round pick. You know, Kawhi when he was on the Spurs. Yeah, Kenneth Faried, man. Huh, isn't that crazy? Anyway, so Kyrie was pretty close to being unanimous with. You know, Wemby, and I was really impressed that he got done with the season, and what he said, he goes, I still need to do more. And the thing is, the pressure now on San Antonio. Let me ask you this. Do you think Victor Wembanyama is a big enough draw to a star player that goes, I want to go play with that guy?
100%.
It's 1 year. I get it.
100%.
But, like, I'm just going to say it. Kevin Durant.
Yes. Well,
again, I'll just throw any star player to say, you know what? I'm going to go play with that guy.
Well, maybe. See, I don't know Kevin Durant because I think his ultimate goal is to prove he can win a ring without Steph. And I don't necessarily think you can step in.
I got a hot take about that.
I don't think he cares. And that's fair.
I don't think he cares.
I guess I would care.
I think he just wants to win another one. I don't think he cares how and why. So I think it's too far set in stone for him that would
KD go to San Antonio to win a ship? No, I don't think they would be good enough. But
I just think Wemby's a big enough draw.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think they know how much of a just freak he is.
I don't think now. Give it another year. See how he does this year, and then I think he'll be drawn in.
But anybody in the NBA, especially because people on the outside are smart enough to see some of the he does.
Some of the things he does are insane. It's insane.
It's generational. Like that sounds silly to say, but
he is.
Like when you go coast to coast, and
dude, he's 7'6" and he plays like a guard. He's 7'6" and he plays like a guard. You know, and I watched Brian Windhorst he went over to France. He spent weeks in France to learn about, Wembanyama, talk to his family's coaches. And they had him dribbling low because they said, you're 7'6", you can't put the ball up here, you're going to get stolen. He practiced dribbling like a guard. And then he splashes threes and he blocks the ball maybe better than anybody. It's going to be fun to watch it. It really is. Unanimous. Like, there was that point that there was the groundswell for Chet.
He's second. I think he got all second place votes.
And I don't think there's anybody in this world that would take Chet Holmgren over Victor Wembanyama to start a team. All right, another quick thing from ESPN last night. You had to start a franchise today. You get to draft anybody. Who you taking? Webby, Anthony Edwards.
I get to draft anybody?
You are starting. You get an expansion franchise, and you get to start a team.
Wembanyama 1, probably Anthony Edwards 2. Shy's up there. I would just have to think.
And then you like Giannis and Jokic, but there's an age thing older, there. Yeah. You think about it with Embiid, that kind of stuff.
I think 1 and 2 certainly is
Brunson.
Wemby. No, I think 1 and 2 certainly Wemby and Wemby. I would go actually Wemby.
I kind of want somebody a little more meat on the bone. What I'm talking about is I've seen a little bit more.
I might go Wemby and Luka.
I might go Ant. I've seen more from Anthony Edwards than I have from Wembanyama.
I just, as good as Anthony Edwards is, I just like. If the vision plans out for Wemby, there's nothing he can't do. And literally nobody to guard him.
Yeah, I'm in. Oh, all right. Sorry, next story.
No, you're good.
I agree with your take. I agree with your takes.
Well, speaking of good players, somebody we thought was good, but not in this series so far, that's for sure, is Jamal Murray, Nuggets guard. Because if you saw something around the 4:41 mark in the second quarter, it was him throwing a heating pad on the floor live. And KCP just throws it back. Nothing happened, but
he'll get fined.
I was trying to find the quote. Crew chief Mark Davis said,
he said if we would have seen it, it would have been a technical, but not an ejection.
Right. I don't know about that. I feel like it kind of should have been an ejection.
He said, because they do the pool report where basically the referees do talk to the media after, and they send like 2 people to ask all the questions. Here's what he said. First off, they didn't notice it. And what Chris Finch was pissed about was, he goes, where did you think that came from? He goes, a fan didn't throw a heating pad. You knew it came from Denver's bench. And they said, we didn't see it. We didn't know where it came from. If he had thrown it in the direction of somebody, then that would have triggered the hostile act thing or something like that, and then maybe he would have gotten thrown out. But the fact that he didn't directly throw it at somebody, he would have got a technical but not ejected.
Kind of dumb.
Well, it's the same thing you could say about the Cavs.
The mouth guard reminds me of Steph.
Oh, just gnaws on it.
When he chucks
when he threw it, that too, yeah. That makes me laugh when I see not just Steph, but more hockey players playing, and all they do is just chew on it. It's like, you know what's supposed to be in your mouth. Now, granted, you take a puck to the puss, you're losing your teeth.
A puck to the puss.
It's to the mouth. You're losing your teeth. It doesn't matter what mouth guard is in there. But the whole point is some semblance of defense, and I just see all these guys chewing on it. Well, they're sitting there trying to shoot them. I've been watching a lot of hockey. A lot of fun. A lot of gum. What the hell was I going to say off of that? Oh, you talk about the reflection of your team from your head coach, and the Nuggets seem like a head case. Kind of because like Michael Malone might be. What do the Cavs do? They like to bitch at the refs. What does JB like to do? Bitch at the refs. And I get that that's one of the jobs of a coach. You got to work the refs. I say this as a Cavs fan, and I'm sure it'd even be more if you were truly an unbiased fan. I'm getting sick and tired of it. And I understand the refs have a tough job, that there is a flip to be had in the playoffs. I get it, 1,000%. Stop bitching at the refs. I'm looking at you, Max Strus. I'm looking at JB. Just stop, please. I'm getting sick of it. And it's like, it's the other stuff that, like, you know, when they go like that, because they don't want to get teed up, but they got to do something to voice their frustration. I get it, you're frustrated.
Across the court.
Yeah, that just for the love of God, stop. I really am sick of seeing it. I am. I'm foul. They're clearly fouls. Stop. Because you want to know the other thing? Those refs are sitting there going, you think you're going to get a call now? Yeah. You're giving me crap up and down this court. And when it is a 50-50 call, you think I'm going to give that to you? Come on. You want to bitch on a legitimate 50-50 call or something that you really think I was in the wrong? It's more powerful when it's somebody that go, oh, yeah, that guy said something to me all game. I'm sick of it. It's one of the things that I hope doesn't happen in this series. I know it will. I'm sick of the Cavs just bitching at the refs.
Yeah.
Play the damn game, man. Get after it.
Well, speaking of playing the game.
It might get a little dicey on the one team. All right. We just missed it yesterday. I like some of the teams that we have laid out here. We begin. The Immaculate Grid, you know how we do it, up and down, left and right. If you would like to help us, and Lord knows we need it, get in the YouTube comments, get on the Twitter comments, at Matt Fontana83, at Matt Fontana Show, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of it. Ryan Styler33. Go.
All right. I want to rip Luke Kuechly.
Sure. You could do Bryce Young for that, too.
Yeah, but that's not
Luke
fun.
Kuechly's fun. Rain Dakota Prescott.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah, Michael Pittman. That works too. All right, now we're in the nitty gritty. Anything jumping out to you? Anything? Semblance.
Ravens, Panthers.
Yeah.
Hayden Hurst.
Oh, you've been dying to get a Hayden Hurst one in here for a while. I'm glad you got it, Tim. I'm glad you got it. Well done. Oh my God.
What?
There's a Ravens-Dallas connection running back. It's not Marion Barber. It's not. It was like a secondary kind of guy. It's not like it was Zeke. It's not like it was Tony Pollard.
I'm just trying to think of Steelers Panthers.
I don't think it's right. You know, Justin Forsett. You remember him for the Ravens?
Let's save it.
All right, let's save that. Panthers, Steelers.
Steelers.
Huh. That's a tough one.
Deontay Johnson just got traded.
But hasn't played yet. Defensively, can't think of anything. Certainly don't think quarterbacks. Like Jake Delhomme, I don't think ever played for Pittsburgh. Cam didn't. I need to push that one aside. All right, we're getting into the dicey now, man. Steelers, Cowboys. I don't know why. You got to give me a Google on this. John Randall. Hang on. I know Minnesota. No, I'm sorry. He didn't even play for Dallas. Who the hell am I thinking of then? I feel like there's a D tackle there I'm missing. Or something like that. Steelers. Hines Ward. Not Roethlisberger. Heath Miller. Ooh, I might have a Steelers-Panthers. Nick Vanette. I know he played for the Steelers. He was in Seattle. He's been like a rotational backup tight end. I don't know how that really fits in all that. Drawing a blank on some offensive linemen in this whole damn thing.
Ravens, Colts.
Former teams, by the way. Oh, I got one. Ravens, Colts. Brandon Stokely.
Nice.
Yeah, I forgot he played for the Ravens for a quick second there.
Ravens, Cowboys. It's got to be an easy
This is
one.
what I'm saying. Like, Alfred Morris? No.
Does Bryant play a game for the Ravens? Why do I feel?
I don't.
Why do I?
I don't know why it's making me think that. Derek Mason.
I think he did.
I'm gonna give it to you if he got it. He did. By God, he did.
Yeah.
By God, he did. I'll give it to you.
Right? Did he play a game?
Hang on, I want to make sure he's on the team.
I think
he
he
played
did.
6 games, 6 receptions, 2 touchdowns.
I remember that.
All right, I'll give that. I'll give it. It does Brian. Good pull. All right, now the Steelers should be laid up for this thing, right? Like we should be all over
Did
the
Chuba
Steelers.
Hubbard play for the Steelers?
No, I think he's only. He's
Deontay
only.
Foreman? No.
I don't think so. Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Or are you
yes,
thinking
no.
of D'Angelo Williams?
Okay, I know. Go D'Angelo Williams. I know it was D'Angelo Williams. I actually weirdly think that Jonathan Stewart did too. Stand by.
I know D'Angelo Williams did.
I'm pretty damn sure
How do
Jonathan.
you spell D'Angelo?
D-E apostrophe. No, you're right. It's not Jonathan Stewart. It's D'Angelo Williams.
Woo! Good catch
good
by
catch.
me.
Good catch.
How do you spell D'Angelo?
D-E apostrophe.
Okay.
Oh, no apostrophe. Just D-E-A-N-G-E-L-O. D'Angelo Williams. Yep.
Thank God.
Okay, good pull. Good save there, buddy. Good save, 100%.
Steelers boys. Did Vance McDonald ever?
No. All right, we're quarterbacks. We really have not even tapped into the quarterbacks yet.
I mean, after Ben, it's been Duck Hodges, Mason
Rudolph, no.
I mean, obviously not like Pickett or
Gardner Minshew doesn't. We're talking about the Colts. Jacoby Brissett, no. Damn. Charlie Batch.
Check the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. I opened it up to Twitter. Anything?
Oh, good one, Angelo. He's so right.
Who?
He said for Steelers Colts, Eric Ebron.
Oh, good pull. Thank you. Who sent that?
Angelo.
Angelo, thank you. Yes, excellent pull. Yes, hell yeah.
All right, we gotta get.
All right, we gotta get this. What do we got? We got 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes.
Steelers Cowboys.
Steelers Cowboys. Kickers. No. Right? No. Gardaki? Chris Gardaki? I know Browns Steelers. No. He actually would have worked for Steelers Colts too. Talking about Chris Gardaki. There you go. Dude. Allen Robinson? No, he never played in Dallas.
He didn't play for Dallas.
No.
Dude, we have to.
I know we gotta get it. Again, welcoming help here on YouTube, Twitter,
okay.
comment. Hey, wait, let me refresh Twitter. Let me check Twitter.
Levi Wallace. Where did he come from?
No.
Joe Hayden. Did he ever play anywhere?
No. It's a good pull, but no. I mean, Stephon Gilmore never played in Pittsburgh. No.
Did Patrick Peterson play for the Cowboys though?
No. I don't think so. I think he went Arizona,
somewhere else.
No. Because I think you're getting him and
Ryan Switzer. Did he play for the Cowboys? Did he?
Oh man.
You remember him?
Or you play for the Browns? Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Did he?
You dog! Yes. Wait a minute. Let me make sure there's a statistical category here. Hang on. Steelers, Cowboys. What a pull! Shout out to Angelo. Thank you very much for the assist. Let's go.
Do you want to see any?
It's up to you. It's up to you. We can catch our break if you want, but what a pull, Ryan Switzer.
I wonder what he's doing.
I think he's retired now. Did he not have something with his son too? Unfortunately,
I don't know.
I think there was something that he had. I hope they're doing well. I remember that. I think that story.
Where did he go to school? It was in Clemson, was it?
North Carolina. Former Steeler Ryan Switzer shared wonderful news about his son. He had surgery. His son Christian. Inspiring results. Anyway, good. Thank God. Thank God. But I remember that story when he was coming here too. So wishing him nothing but the best. But yeah, I think he retired. I think he's done with it. But shout out to him. Shout out to his family. All right, let's.
Only 29.
Good pull, man.
Yeah, I don't know how.
That was down into the depths, buddy. That was down into some depths right there. That's how you do it. All right, let's catch our final break of the morning. Got a lot to get to. Back to the Cavs. Back to our boost. Time hop, bracket, all coming your way. Big play. Stay with us.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
That's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds.
If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right?
Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party.
Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
All right, let's get to a little bit of time hop, a little shorter version today. We got some things happening on the 7th of May that we will get to, and then remind everybody about our boost for tonight for the Cavs. We'll talk a little Guardians. Got to remind you of our Manzardo contest going on a little bit. We'll get to the bracket. We got it all right here. Big play. Welcome back. Matt Fontana Show, streaming live, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Follow us across all those platforms and get the content you need right here with us. I don't want to bring this one up, but it is what it is. This day, 2021, the Indians got no hit for the second time in 23 days. Wade Miley of the Reds, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no hit the Indians for the second, not him personally, but the Indians got no hit for the second time in 23 days. And we still don't have one.
That's embarrassing.
We still don't have one since Large Lenny Barker's perfect game. Gotten close.
I remember Cookie was so close.
Cookie, the one that Bauer had, and then that was like a combined one that they coughed up. I mean, a no-hitter is certainly impressive, right? Like when you look at, what does Nolan Ryan have? Doesn't he have seven no-hitters? Is that a thing? Or maybe I'm thinking of Bob Feller. Hang on, most no-hitters, MLB history. Okay. Nolan Ryan has 7. 7. There you go. A no-hitter. Oh, fine. All right. The most here's a good one for you. Ready? The most recent for every single active Major League Baseball team. First off, we are the longest starving no-hitter of any franchise. May 15th, 1981. Len Barker.
That's unreal.
42 years ago. The next closest is the Blue Jays 33 years ago, then the Royals 32, then the Braves and the Rangers each 30 years ago. The most recent?
Astros,
Ronel Blanco 30 days ago.
I remember that.
30 days. First one of the year. I guess, like, okay, here's the other thing. It is a bit of a fluky thing. Like, yes, I could look at it and say Nolan Ryan, who is arguably one of the best pitchers of all time, he's got 7, right? But it's also about, like, they just weren't hitting, or you had a diving play. Like, the Diamondbacks got one from Tyler Gilbert 2 years ago. Who the hell is that guy? And I'm not taking a shot at Dallas Braden, who threw that perfect game on Mother's Day. But, like, you know, what do you ever know about the imperfect game for Tigers guy?
God, I know what you're talking about. Garth something?
No.
Garsopoulos? I don't know. It's something like that. I know what you're talking about. Garciaparra.
No. Nomar Garciaparra. No.
Wasn't it? Wasn't that his name? Or am I thinking of some completely other dude?
Armando Galarraga. See what you're trying to think of.
I can see what he looks like.
I picture the play. I picture Jim Joyce.
It's like he was clearly out at first base,
I know,
right?
Jim Joyce. He's crying after. I get it all.
Who did I say? Nomar Garciaparra?
You were close. Yeah, close enough.
And
Nomar
who did it?
Garciaparra. Armando Galarraga.
Galarraga.
Garciaparra, Galarraga. Tomato. Same thing.
It's not as bad as Schottenheimer and who did I say? I mixed up Marty Schottenheimer. I said Bo Schembechler.
Marty Schottenheimer. Yeah. That gave me a good laugh too. That really did. But I'm saying, like, on the no-hitter perfect game, like, it's, yes, a lot of times really good pitchers get it, but it's also just stars aligned. The moon was out, whatever. Like, sometimes that's just what happens for no-hitter. So it's a little shocking that the Indians Guardians have gone 42 years since they've had one. And since then, I think it's 7. I think it's 7 times they've been no-hits since they've gotten one, which is crazy. We go back to COVID times. This day, 2020, Governor DeWine refused to answer questions if he was going to allow gyms to reopen.
He's such a nerd.
I mean, at that point, it was like people were screaming about, can parks be open? What can be open? Like, crazy times, man. Like, I don't know how I'll explain it to my kids one day. You look back on it of just, we were waiting to see what can open, what can't open. You can't leave your house. Now, you know what I read this morning? There's a new variant coming out. They call it flirt.
It doesn't
flirt.
matter. I promise you it doesn't matter.
Everybody's going to get COVID. We've all probably had it. Don't know what to tell you. It's just a thing now. We ain't talking about practice, right? Allen Iverson, this day 2002. We ain't talking about practice. Talking about practice? What was that counter on that? Like 20 times he said we ain't talking about practice. This day 2002. This day 1994, the 8th-seeded Denver Nuggets upset a number 1 seeded team, the Seattle Supersonics. It was the first time in NBA history that an 8 upset a 1 in an opening round playoff series in the NBA. Jordan hit the shot this day, 1989 over Elo. I don't want to bring it up, but in the essence of being fair and of accuracy in time hop, Jordan hit the shot this day, 1989. The worst part of that was that Craig Elo was in perfect defensive position. He was all over Jordan, and he just chucked it up. He just chucked it up. Lucky shot. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Take that, Jordan. Lucky shot for you. This day, 1945, Branch Rickey announced the formation of the U.S. Negro Baseball League. Of course, the stars that came out of that, the importance of that. This day, 1945. This day, 1877, the Cincinnati Enquirer, the newspaper, used the term bullpen for the first time.
I didn't know that's where I'm very familiar with the Enquirer.
So, it had nothing to do with pitching. It was originally a term used for the open room in foul territory where late arriving fans were herded into like cattle, therefore coming up with the term bullpen. Then eventually they would put the mounds there for the bullpen, and that's where the term came from. A little bit of little history fact there for you in today. Beethoven premiered his 9th Symphony this day, 1924.
Nice.
Not quite as good as the 7 or the 8.
No.
But actually, no, the 9th is supposedly like his. Which one is that?
Super Tuesday, Beethoven or Mozart?
I don't. Maybe Beethoven. I don't know.
Need to study.
Which one is the 9th Symphony? Is that dun 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 dun? Is that it?
That's Beethoven, I think.
That's what I mean. Beethoven's 9th Symphony.
Yeah,
is that it? I don't know. I want to pull it up, but I don't know if we're allowed to play it.
Who cares? What are they going to do?
Famous last words.
All they can do is take the video off YouTube, I'm pretty sure.
Beethoven's 9th Symphony. Symphony number 9. I'm just going to play the first one. Hang on, stand by. I think I might. Don't know that one. Oh, yeah.
I don't think they can hear it.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. 9th Symphony. What a time to be alive in whatever I said it was. 1827, something like that. There you go. Congratulations, Tim. All right, we get down. Happy birthday. Slow day there. Johnny Unitas, Sean Marion, Alex Smith, and Drew Stanton all celebrating birthdays today. All right, 3 movies for you. Kind of off the beaten path on a couple. We'll see how you do. All right. We start this day, 2004. Wolverine and oh man, what is she known for?
2004?
2004.
Gosh.
And Celine from the Underworld series take on Dracula. Nothing? You ever seen Van Helsing? No. It's Hugh Jackman, it's Kate Beckinsale, and it's a take on Dracula. Like Van Helsing was supposedly like the doctor that took, went after Dracula, like all that kind of stuff. It's really not good. It's really not good. It's bad. But it's got Frankenstein, it's got werewolves, it's got Dracula. I guess if you're really bored, Kate Beckinsale's really hot in it. So if you got that, that's what it is. Van Helsing, this day, 2004. All right, we go back. This day, 1999. Another movie along the same lines of like monster.
What year? I'm sorry.
1999. The main actor in this film was at the height of his career when he made this. He had a giant downturn in his career, and now he's back, not on top, but a lot of people are bringing him up as he's getting back into acting. He did the Whale movie, you know?
Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
The Mummy.
The Mummy is correct. The Mummy is correct. Second one, not bad. Scorpion King, ass. And then the rest of them just sucked. And then Tom Cruise's remake was just trash, too. But the original Mummy, really good. I think it holds up. This day, 1999. And then we go back, a film this day, 1997. This is a science fiction film that at the time made was the most expensive European movie ever made. It's set in the 23rd century with the central plot involving the survival of planet Earth, which becomes the responsibility of a taxi cab driver and former Special Forces major after a young woman falls into his cab. He joins forces with her to recover 4 mystical stones essential for the defense of Earth against an impending attack of a cosmic entity.
What year is this?
1997. A bit of a ensemble cast, if you will. Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman, Chris Tucker, and Mila Jovovich. Nothing? The Fifth Element.
See,
Heard of it, never seen it. The
heard of
Fifth
it.
Element. The Fifth Element is the movie that came out this day, 1997. So there are your movies for that as we roll on. All right, let's get back into it tonight. Cavs, Celtics, boost me on up, baby. There it is. Come on now. Here we go. I teed it up. We were a little late. That's fine. No problem on that. Let's go. 3 for you tonight. Mobley rebounds. Mitchell points.
Yes.
And the Cavs to cover.
Yes.
Boosted over 300. Use that code Fontana150 when you sign up with Tipico. Get on the boost. Get it going for tonight. I'll get you some trends as well for both our games tonight. The other thing I want to remind people about is going with the guards. So here's what we got. Every day, we are going to run the same boost on Tipico. It is Guardians to win the game and Kyle Manzardo to hit a home run. Eventually, he will. Now, that being said, Ryan, yesterday's boost was plus like 900.
Yeah.
I think you throw $5 on this every day until it hits, and you're going to eventually, hopefully, cash that. That being said, we are also going to give away a pair of tickets to go watch the Cleveland baseball team to one of the people that bet with us on Tipico on that bet. So this is going to be rolling for days. We might actually have a lot of people that get signed up for this. So again, go to Tipico, use the code Fontana150 for new customers. You deposit $150, and you will get 2 $75 protected bets that you can place to get your cashback rewards. You can get that money to use on the NBA playoffs, go with the guards, whatever you'd like. Terms and conditions apply, new customers only. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. So with that, we're going to do this every day until it eventually happens. So, and then we'll give away a pair of tickets to go check out the Cleveland baseball team. So we'll do that with our friends at Tipico. You ready to go for tonight? So a big 11.5-point spread here for the Cavs. I start with the wine and gold. They are only 1-4 against the spread their last 5 games, but they are 5-2 against the spread their last 7 games against the Celtics. They are only 7-13 straight up in their last 20 games at the TD Garden. They are 0-6 their last 6 games on the road. Cavs are 1-9 straight up in their last 10 on the road against Boston. You flip it over for the Celtics, 4-1 against the spread their last 5, 6-1 straight up, 17-2 straight up in their last 19 games at home. And again, they've owned the Cavs there as well. Boston is 5-1-1 against the spread their last 6 games when they play as the favorite. I think 11's too much. I'm betting with my heart, which you're not supposed to do. But I will take the Cavs plus that 11. Late game tonight, 3.5 on the side of the Oklahoma City Thunder. By the way, how do the Nuggets and the Timberwolves have 2 games in before the Mavericks and Thunder even tip off?
A
A little weird.
I thought about that.
A little weird. This is Dallas taking on Oklahoma City. This is at Paycom Center there for Oklahoma City, a home game for them. And the Thunder are a 3.5-point home favorite. Let's get into some trends. Dallas, 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. But they don't play Oklahoma City that well. Dallas is just 2-6 against the spread their last 10 games against Oklahoma City and 1-4 straight up in their last 5 against OKC. You flip it over for the Thunder, they come in 7-1 against the spread their last 8 games. Are they really riding a 9-game win streak? I guess they must be. Yeah. And they are 7-0 straight up in their last 7 games at home. Oklahoma City 4-1 against the spread. Their last 5 games when they play as the favorite. I think if it was any more, I would slam Dallas. But I'm going to take OKC to cover here. What do you think? I don't mind the Dallas pick. I really do not mind the Dallas pick.
Like, I want to imagine Luka's going to go in there and show them young boys what's good. And Kyrie should too, but then at the same time, I just feel like OKC is so much energy.
I keep selling them short. I keep selling them short too.
That's a tough one.
I'm going to go OKC. If this was 5, and you can even alt it if you want to 5, then maybe I'm taking Dallas.
I'll go OKC with you.
I'll go OKC. So we'll ride Cavs with our heart, and then we'll ride OKC to cover there. That's our 2 games in action tonight. Get bet with our friends at Tipico. Ryan, our bracket of the week in honor of opening weekend at Cedar Point. Your favorite ride. We've got 16. Please let everybody know groups 1 and 2 for tonight.
Already group 1, led by, of course, the Millennium Force, Valraven, Windseeker, and the Cadillac cars.
That was mine. That's my wife's favorite ride there.
And in group 2, Dragster. I'm only including the first one because there's only so many select few that have been on Dragster 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all encompassing. Yeah. Dragster 1 and 2. That's
Raptor,
fine.
Gemini, and Blue Streak. Those
Raptor gets my vote there.
I purposely put Raptor in group 2 because I know you're a big fan of it. And I think if any of the 1 seeds are going to get upset, it should be Dragster.
Sure. Other ones, Maverick, Gatekeeper.
Rougarou, Power Tower.
That's tough for me. I like Rougarou.
Group 4, Steel Vengeance, Magnum, Iron Dragon, Corkscrew.
Like a lot of the 1 seeds there. But I'll go with Raptor. I'll probably go Raptor. We didn't get a lot of like the other ones.
See,
like,
I'll go. I have to go Millennium.
Oh yeah, nobody's upset at Millennium. Millennium's got it's so great because it's not only
Gemini.
the height.
I vote Gemini
over what?
Dragster because I think it's overrated.
Oh sure, yeah.
And Raptor, I'm just not that.
I know you and I differ on Raptor. The thing that's so great about Millennium is you obviously get the hill, which at one point was the tallest, but there's some length to that ride. You're actually on the ride, and you go around and it's fast. Maverick, it's just this. Yeah. It's just so much up and down. I'd like that speed. It's like whether you get the straight line speed or a lot of the herky. I like that. Then you go underneath and you get the jet out. You go over the water. Steel Vengeance is one I don't remember enough because Steel Vengeance.
Dude, it's so good.
Oh, it's great. I love it, but I can't remember all the hills because what was it prior? What was the name of it prior?
It was oh gosh.
I can't remember the name. It used to be.
As soon as you say it.
I know. Mean Streak. Mean Streak. That's what it was. Dude, Mean Streak was brutal. That was a tough ride. I didn't know this. Steel Vengeance is the first, according to cedarpoint.com, Steel Vengeance is the world's first and only hyper hybrid.
Yeah.
Whether I'm assuming what they mean is it's a wooden coaster with a metal track, right? I'm assuming that's what they mean with hyper hybrid. It's a fun ride. It just beats me up a little bit. Beats me up a little bit just about, just on my legs. Yeah, the Mean Streak. Mean Streak opened in 1991 at the time as the tallest wooden coaster in the world with the longest drop height. After more than 25 years of operation, Cedar Point closed Mean Streak on September 16, 2016, casting doubt and uncertainty about its future. Over time, the park dropped subtle hints about the possible track conversion, which was officially confirmed in August of 2017, and it was marketed as the world's first hybrid hyper coaster, a wooden and steel roller coaster of at least 200 feet in height, and reemerged as what they call as Steel Vengeance. That's a 200-foot drop.
What's the best roller coaster you've ever been on? Doesn't even have to be Cedar Point.
I mean, Cedar Point leans. So the only other places I've been, Universal, and then when I was growing up, the first roller coaster I ever went on was the Beast in Kings Island. And Kings Island is fun. It's a lot of fun down there. There's something about the Beast that it has some sort of distinction. Okay. Designed and manufactured, the ride opened as the tallest, fastest, and longest wooden roller coaster in the world when it opened in 1979. Obviously, I'm sure that's been passed since. Oh, no. Okay, no. To this day, the Beast is still the longest wooden roller coaster in the world. It spans 35 acres of hilly terrain over 7,300 feet.
What Six Flags is it in?
It's at Kings Island.
Or Kings Island.
Cincinnati.
See, dude, I passed that all the time, and I never went.
You never went?
No.
Dude, Kings Island's
None
fun.
of my friends were real big.
Kings Island is pretty good.
Coaster.
Now,
stuff.
I'm pretty sure they're all owned by the same thing now. I think Cedar Fair owns Cedar Point and Kings Island now. Because I remember reading some stories about it being like a monopoly or something like that. Kings Island's cool. Again, I've only been there once, and it was decades ago. You don't remember Six Flags Geauga Lake?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, do you?
I remember Geauga Lake.
You remember Geauga Lake?
Not
when they converted it over to
I
Six
only remember
Flags
the
for that
water
short
park.
run.
I only remember the water park.
Well, the water park was great, and then they opened SeaWorld. And that, like, we had that in our back in Aurora. I mean, that was, like, yeah. Plus, the other thing that I loved about that, they had the Batman. They had Batman, Superman. Like, they had all the Marvel or DC characters at Six Flags.
Oh, yeah.
They had the Batman roller coaster, which you want to know the best. Actually, you want to know what? Of tugging at my past, heartstrings. That Batman ride at Six Flags was. It's not even just because it was Batman.
Wait, Six Flags was the one that turned into Geauga Lake?
So Geauga Lake
Right.
got bought out and became Six Flags. And then they put a SeaWorld in. And then it all went to hell. And then they tore. I think it went back to Geauga Lake.
All I remember was Geauga Lake.
So Geauga Lake got bought out.
Where the water park had the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
All the water slides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The giant lake in the middle where they would do shows and stuff like that.
They had the wave pool.
Yeah. Oh, the wave pool. Absolutely.
Oh, gosh. I wish I was still
the Big Dipper. That's right.
Why'd they get rid of it?
Money. There weren't enough people going. Probably.
Bastards.
Geauga Lake opened in 1925. The first amusement ride was added in 1889, and the first roller coaster was built in 1925. The park was sold several times. And in expanded over the years. Funtime was acquired by Premier Parks in 1995. And in 2000, they rebranded Geauga Lakes as Six Flags Ohio, adding 4 new roller coasters. And then eventually, Six Flags bought the adjacent SeaWorld and combined the parks under Six Flags World of Adventure. Ownership changed yet again in 2004 when it was bought by Cedar Fair and then renamed Geauga Lake once again. Together, it became Geauga Lake and Wild Water Kingdom. That's right. That's right.
God,
and
it's anything.
September 21st, 2007, less than a week after Geauga Lake closed for the season, they announced they would be permanently closing.
Dude.
The Wild Park continued to operate as Wild Water Kingdom through 2016 before being permanently closed again.
Such an
it's just nothing.
It's
just nothing. For a while,
that place
there were
was
some
so
vacant
fun,
buildings. It was so awesome.
They had the lazy river.
Yep.
All that good stuff.
We're way past time. Here's roller coasters. The Big Dipper, the Double Loop, the Raging Wolf Bobs. That was the water one that you went down. Damn it. Thunderhawk, Mine Ride, Steel Venom, the Villain. I remember that. X-Flight. Damn it, man.
I'd rather have Geauga Lake than a dome, to be honest with you.
So would I. Bring that back. Bring that back of a generation of past. All right, Cavs, get it done tonight. We'll see. We will see how it goes. I don't know what to tell you, but we'll see how it goes. Appreciate everybody joining us tomorrow. Great show for us today. We'll be back tomorrow to recap. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm maybe asking for a Victory Wednesday. We'll get to that tomorrow. We'll also try to catch up with Spencer Davies, recap everything going on with the Cavs. So we'll talk to you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Don't forget tonight, Josh Maria Cribbs with the return and Enter the Jungle. James Rapine and crew talking some Bengals. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.